this year. I mean, this last year, last Christmas. Because the first book is The One by John Mars, and in Polish the title is his thought process was something like, was she disgusted or was she turned on? You know what I mean? There are so many other emotions that you can feel, so many other options to choose from. But these were the only two mentioned, which was quite funny. I cracked up. sensed